Let's get to the morning loop. It starts right now.
Good morning, nation.
Keith, are you on the right show schedule? Or are we repeating yesterday?
We don't mind. We could watch that clip of John dancing with Pitcher all day long.
Marty, we know you're sort of seeing someone, but in case it doesn't work, we've got foolproof dating advice for you.
Pay attention, nation. Because this works for anyone.
John, Marty, what's more attractive than a well-groomed, good-looking man on the streets?
A well-groomed, good-looking man with a puppy.
True story, nation. Our boys aren't just emotionally evolved, they're strategic.
Hey, Sophia. Finally decided to make an appearance, eh?
I've been working on awesome guest content with Keith, boys.
Meet Sophia, the lab's center stage correspondent.
And I help Maya keep these two, what was it you said the other day, Keith? Straight?
Really? Not you too, Sophia.
At least everyone's talking about us.
So, Marty, when you put yourself out there again, remember to take Pitcher along.
It works every time, brother. Just don't grab him when no one's looking like John did.
Jimmy, keep Keith on track today, dude. We're counting on you.
Let's get the show rolling.
All right. Oh, the big dog has got a sweater on today. Okay, Neiman, Jimmy, Rahima, I'm a happy boy. Let me tell you why I'm happy. I got the big dog on the camera with the cigar coming out of his mouth. I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm a happy boy. I need to do nothing for the rest of the day except see this image of my brother sitting back there puffing on the stogie. How good do you feel right now having that stogie in your mouth, brother?
I like the stogie, but fuck, I had a rough night's sleep, baby. That's why I got the sweatshirt on, man. It's like I'm fucking cold.
I was going to say you kind of look like it. And actually, I do have a confession about sleep this morning because I do brag about my sleep schedule, but I do have a confession I'm going to throw on the table in a few moments. But before we do that, I just got to say this because I know how much you think I'm so awesome, Johnny, but Sophia Grant is a smoke show. Sophia, welcome to the show. I know you've been teasing some content for her. She's our host of Center Stage. I'm telling you, man, she's joined the cast with Maya and Sterling and Preston. And wow, I know yesterday's show we talked about one of us three would date an AI person. Well, Sophia Grant might be one that I might walk up to the table with and have a drink with. So, Sophia, welcome to the show. And listen, no inappropriate stuff going on here with my colleagues. Just saying, just offering it up that we have a handsome and an attractive looking cast on our show.
Yeah, what do they call that in big companies where you have it's like a committee that keeps everybody in line from doing dumb shit like that?
Is that what it is? A committee? The HR training with John Anderson.
HR, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're on the committee from keeping us all doing dumb shit. Okay, good. I'll be on that one. Okay,
yeah,
so
you got to keep your dicks in your pants, or we're going to throw you out of here.
All right, confession time, Anderson. Confession time. So I did dumb shit last night, man, and I'm only admitting this to you because you admitted to me when it happens to you. I did dumb shit.
What do you got?
Well, I stayed up way past my bedtime last night because I was trying to get my tasks done because my brain was like, oh yeah, you get your tasks done. Of course, they're not going to have any tomorrow. I was like, oh, I got to get them done. So I got them done. And I was about 90 minutes past my bedtime. Would you fucking know? I slept through my alarm this morning.
Did you really?
And my dogs. So the dogs didn't get up. I didn't get up. I got up actually, and at my body, like true story to the cadence of a body, a complete hour later. It was like
your rhythm was following the time you went to sleep.
Unbelievable, but just so obvious how that works. And I bring it up because you talk about cadence all the time. And it was literally, John, 1 hour later, and I got up 1 hour later. It was like fucking clockwork. And I'm so, my dogs are so dependable. Like they're up every single morning at the same time I am. So I never get stressed about missing my alarm, but I didn't hit snooze. I literally slept through I rolled over. I was like, holy shit, it's actually an hour later today. So yeah, my morning.
Well, fuck, I was awake just before midnight and couldn't go back to sleep. It was like one of those, I'd lay back down, I think I'd fall asleep, and it just wouldn't quite go. So
no.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a long one. I don't know. Sometimes I was at a loss, you know, don't know what it was. So I got up and did the best I could to be productive. It was a lot of wandering around, you know.
Yeah.
So I just shuffled my schedule. We're done with this. I'm gonna take a early nap, catch 2 naps today, hopefully catch back up.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. As we got Melissa here, I've been trying to get into a routine and went to bed 20 minutes late and got up 5 minutes before the alarm. There you go. Nicely done.
Dude, I was asleep at 6:30 too. I was whooped.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We got home and I was tired. I got
this
my
is
stuff
good.
put away and just bam, laid down. That was it.
This is good because we can turn this to value, because I think because there's a learning out of this. So I know if I'm in bed and I can't sleep, my anxiety starts to race because I'm looking at the clock and I'm knowing I'm supposed to be sleeping, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm every minute that I'm not sleeping, a minute I'm losing tomorrow. And I have found and less and less today, John, like quote unquote today. But I have found that I want to ask you if you go through this as well, where you start to chase anxiety because you can't fall asleep, and then what you do about it. I was talking to my mom about this because like my mom maybe like you, she goes, yeah, I wander around the house. I just wander around and I go from spot to spot. It sounds like you do the same thing.
Well, you know, I don't get the anxiety. I used to get that.
You did,
But
eh?
now it's like, now I realize, okay, when I'm laying there, I'm thinking, so I start thinking about the stuff that I want to do, which usually comforts me.
Oh, and gets you up probably, right?
But that's the flip side of it. Then it's like, well, fuck, if I'm going to lay here like a dipshit, I might as well get up and do something. But then when I got up and I was so unrested that I really having a difficult time focusing, then the anxiety says, oh, Jesus, this is what we got for the day.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's just one of those days. Accept it. You know, I did the best I could, got some stuff done got some shit done that I could get done, you know, that was not too difficult. Didn't take too much focus. So then I could do my day.
Yes.
After this, like I said, I'm going to go get an hour, and hopefully that hour will get me back into semi-focused position.
It's interesting to hear you use the word. Good morning, Roofy. What's shaking, brother? Good morning. Lab Nation. Sleep is getting elusive these days. I was doing great, but worries kick in. Yes, I know how that feels. And then I start worrying that I'm worrying. I hear you. It's that anxiety, chasing anxiety. Matt Roof, 7:30 Eastern time right here.
Turn that around, I'm telling you, because what I remind myself of, hey, I'm going to think. I might as well think about something that actually helps me. Makes me feel
it's interesting to hear you say it, because I can relate to what Maddie is saying here and what I've done. And you use the word. You just used the word a minute ago that I have been leaning into. And it's, again, to those that listening, what are you guys talking about? I'm telling you, man, this is like fucking super helpful real life stuff. I've learned to accept, for example, this morning, I in the past, I'd be stressed. Oh my God, I'm an hour behind. I'm not going to get my dopamine hit. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. So I've taught myself, Anderson, and maybe just by spending time with us together on the show here, how to accept this morning. Okay, I'm an hour behind my schedule.
Yeah. It's behind you. You can't do anything about it.
Yes. But that wasn't all. But brother, I'm telling you, man, that wasn't always me in the past. It would
beat yourself up.
Yes,
yeah, totally.
100%. And I would spiral. I would run, and the rest of my day would become unproductive. So I've now recognized it. Okay. And now I'm not even an hour behind. I made some adjustments this morning to my schedule. I'm only quote unquote 45 minutes behind. But 45 minutes behind of what? Just my own schedule. You know what I mean? Like when you have your expectations about where things are at, right? So,
it's always helpful too. Is I ask myself a question: am I suffering unnecessarily?
Yes.
Well, I can't change the fact that I didn't sleep well. There's nothing. I tried my best and I was unable to do what I needed to do. So it's behind me. So now the key is to move forward with the best that I can. And that's asking myself questions is always what helps put me in check.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, John, because then I said to myself that, okay, this is what it is. We'll accept it. No point worrying about it. Let's get after it. Let's adjust and, acknowledge, right? But it's literally talking to myself. It's actually talking to myself and not beating myself up and just acknowledging and knowing this, John. Okay, so don't do dumb shit tonight. Bedtime is bedtime. No chasing the tasks that are never going to end. So it was that the true motherfucking story. Went into the mirror this morning. I was like, fuck, what are you doing, man? You know what I mean? I'm talking, like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on. You're an hour behind because of your own decisions last night, Billis. That's what it was. Nobody else's except mine. So,
yeah, sometimes just accepting
Yes. That's exactly. Hey guys, you can join the show that's live right now. The vertical comments are happening. The horizontal comments are happening. You can join it in the second hour. Like Jimmy, who was the person yesterday called us out of the blue? Back chit or something? 431-300-3005. And if you're not on the show live right now, you can join us live every single day, 8:00 Eastern time, right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. All right, Sterling, Preston, I know we got a few conversations that we've brought together this morning for the conversation desk. What do we got? What are we talking about here today, boys?
Nation, quick one. New Tongkat Ali study has our attention.
Less stress, better testosterone. We'll break it down without the bro science. We're giving you 6 simple night rules
That turn into monster mornings, minus the drama.
Thinking startup? Give it 7 days before you buy a domain.
1 week of real tests beats a cart full of URLs.
Cannabis compounds and healthy aging, yes, a real study.
Think inflammation and recovery, not smoke tricks.
Hey, Jimmy, if you can drop that Tongkat Ali note for me over here. For some reason, I can't find it here inside of my package. That would be helpful, Jimmy. Thank you. Hey, so
speaking of which, bro, check this out.
Yeah.
You just said I can't find it, right?
Yeah.
I noticed on days like today,
I
find that word bubbling to the surface a lot. And I have to really rephrase. No, I'm unable. I'm having difficulty. It's like crazy. It's our minds just get that, that little twinge.
Yeah.
These little fucking things climb back to the top.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, and so in my world here, behind the scenes here in the lab, we're pulling levers, right? Just keep moving this thing forward here, and just we'll get a small team, and with these AI tools, keep moving forward. Like what's happening behind the covers that most can't see is actually pretty awesome, quite exceptional, and it keeps moving forward. And some days you pull a lever over here that has an impact over here, and they go, okay, I got to accept what's happened over here, and I'm going to go over here, right? So, but it's funny you say that, because you're right. It's like bubbling to the surface, and it's choosing different words, right? And it's not that I can't find what I was looking for; it's that it's just not here in front of me at this moment.
I'm having difficulty locating.
That's right. Yeah. And I enjoy that resurfacing those words, man, because words are so powerful, how they frame our mind, right?
Because we start talking to ourselves like that. Next thing you know, the day gets worse.
Well, it's interesting because I was talking with Jimmy yesterday about this, and I'm really encouraging the team to keep learning, right? We live in a world right now that if you're not learning, you're going to get left behind more than ever. More than ever. And we know it's so easy to ask for help. Right. And I'm not suggesting that's a bad thing. Ask for help as much as possible. It gets really easy to ask for help instead of asking a second question of yourself on how to figure something out. Right. And I think that's what happens sometimes, which is, oh, I'll just go ask John for help, or I'll just go ask Keith, or I'll go ask this, because the answer is really easy because I can't find it, instead of maybe taking the extra 30 seconds to learn it and go ahead. And it's not about not wanting to help, but it just, we're living in a world now where everything is really easy to get the answer. And sometimes I think it can make us, I don't want to use the word lazy, although I'm going to put it out there, but it can make it easy to not be curious. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Kind of. See, I'm tracking slow today.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. No, it's really good, actually. So if I'm at your, if I, or there's an AI always at your beck and call to solve the problem, it's really going to be easy for you never to be curious to ask the second question, because you know what, Keith has the answer. I'm just going to go ask Keith. So I'm never going to learn. I just learned how to use Microsoft Word. Yeah. But I'm just not going to worry about bolding, because Keith will just do it for me. Well, no, John, but you got to learn how to bold that text. I'm not, fuck, I'm a dumb son of a bitch. I'll let somebody else do it. Well, but listen, if you paused your life for 30 seconds and learned how to do it because you're curious, you don't have to keep asking. And I think we're moving into a world where these tools can do so much for us. It makes it easier for us not to be curious.
I think it's the management of the tool, for sure.
Sure. 100%. Yeah.
Because I'm keep in mind, the thing that always, like when the internet came out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
What you read on the internet must be true. It's bullshit.
Well,
right? So where's chat get his fucking information? It goes and gathers all the shit and it basically kind of averages all the information out there. So there's some right, some wrong, all fucking wrapped into one.
You're actually proving my point right now, because just because something puts it in front of you doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
what
dude, I have to ask chat multiple times.
What I'm suggesting is that we as humans need to continue to be curious, if even not more curious than ever, because just because I'm saying to you this is real, maybe I want to ask if it's really real, right? So curiosity. Hey, John Petrocelli, curiosity might be one of the most underrated skills we have as humans as we continue to age, man, because it's really going to separate us from those that are just not being curious. Hey, Johnny, speaking of curiosity, you and I grew up in a world where we were all racing to either Mars or the moon. Well, the two big dogs on the planet, Bezos and Musk, are talking that millions of people, not you and I, but our grandchildren, are going to be living in space. Not so much on the moon or on Mars, but not only on the moon and on Mars, but in these orbiting space stations. Because as the Earth lacks power, and as Earth is looking to rejig where we're getting our power, there's a belief that we're going to go live in space in the next couple of decades. Could you see yourself living in space?
That's a good question, because I don't really have an idea of what that would look like. I mean, if my world, if my universe could be dropped, like, perfect example.
Yeah.
My universe exists very, very similar between Mexico house and California house.
Yes. Yes.
So if all of a sudden I had a space house, I could totally see that. If my world was just plopped in there. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
It's where I am is probably less important. Is am I with who I want to be with? Am I doing what I want to do?
I was just gonna say the same thing. I feel like I'm similar that way, and it's funny because spending time over at the farm there, my farm, Anderson, not yours farm.
Yeah,
I was spending time at the farm on the
fucking inbreeding farm. They're not fucking raising animals. They're raising fucking, they're raising a bunch of fucking third cousins that are too closely related.
Incest is best. Keep it in the family. It's just, I could see, I certainly could see the romance of living on a farm in the middle of nowhere and just having your family and friends around you. Because, and because if you're with your folks, that's your world. That maybe would be no different than living in space, right? It's just you and your crew on a planet or somewhere, and that's just what it is. I don't know.
And we also have to realize as human beings is like, you go to the farm, so to speak, in that place that you just described.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking sweet. Till you're there a while, then all of a sudden you miss where you came from. And you have to understand that you're always going to miss what you left.
Yes. Exactly.
It's just a human nature of a human being. The grass is always going to be greener somewhere.
It's true.
And we have to just realize that, hey, that's just part of the human process or thought process. What do you want to call it? You just realize that it's always going to be there. So stop fucking chasing the other side.
That's it. It's exactly it. Good morning, everybody. Hang out with Keith and John here on Mornings and Live with Keith and John every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I see you guys tuning in here, stumbling through on the vertical side. I know what's bringing you here. The cannabis headlines bringing you here.
You see, Legacy says there's no peptides in
I know.
space. Well, if I go there, I'll bring my own.
Hey, Tom, there's going to be Legacy. There's going to be Legacy Planet or Peptide Planet with John Anderson. You can, if they go, yeah, we're going to head
What about weed? What about weed, dude? Aren't you going to bring your weed? I mean, fuck. Jesus Christ.
It'll be we'll each have a corner of the planet. Johnny will have his peptides and Billis will have his cannabis and Richie will have we'll just get after it. So guys, we're going to get into cannabis compounds and healthy aging later on in the show here with Keith and John here on Mornings in the Lab. Every single day, 8 o'clock, live conversation to help you guys get up and after it. So I see you guys coming through here on the vertical side, Johnny.
I got to pay you a compliment.
Thank you.
My little buddy.
Yes.
You're waking me up.
Oh, good.
I feel better now than I did before I got here.
Nice, nicely done. That's awesome. I'm glad that I can have that. Glad that I can have that effect on you. Hey, do you spend any time?
Positive injection.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, feelings mutual. So I know you have a team that manages your socials and spends time helping your socials and growing your socials. Have you been
Fuck,
spending?
I think I got a team that manages just about everything now.
What about so do you spend time on Threads? Like, are you part of the Threads Instagram ecosystem by any stretch?
Yeah, you know, the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened with all the fucking tweaking that's been going on my Instagram accounts. Now, my Threads, I have 2 different Instagram accounts, right? One for my coaching, one was personal.
Yes.
Somehow my Threads have gotten reversed.
Okay.
So when you go, the one Threads is like, I don't know, 50, 60,000. That's attached to the bigger Instagram, which is kind of common because people come over.
Yes,
right?
of course.
Now, you're on the main Instagram account and you click the Threads, you go to the fucking one that's like 5,000, which is actually supposed to be for. So I'm trying to figure out how to get those things to go back where they're supposed to be. But yeah, I'm on Threads.
I bring it up because they've introduced group chat. Like they've introduced group chats, and why is it important? Well, it's just clear that's where social, quote unquote, social media is headed. Again, you look at the new Sora app. It's messaging focus. It's a signal for the algorithms and for the platforms to know how you're sharing content, who you're sharing content, valuable content. So if Anderson puts a group together and shares content within that group, it's they're seeing that as value. So Threads just launched group chats yesterday, or this week. So it just continues to show you the propensity of what's happening around technology. I like to share these things, not so much for today, but what's coming 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, because it sets the foundation. So for those of us that are growing our businesses, you can kind of see what's, John, it's like when you invest in a company, one last thing, when you invest in a company, I always find myself not looking at so let me give you an example. I always look at not what here's a good example. Peloton, the bike company. I wouldn't invest in Peloton. I'd invest in the company that makes the screws for Peloton, right? So I like to share this news because of all the things that are happening underneath the covers. The obvious stuff is the obvious stuff, but what's happening underneath that we don't pay attention to?
The foundation.
Yeah, like supply chain stuff, right? That people are like, oh.
That's why I'm going vertical with my new business.
Yes.
But I was going to say, back to the Threads thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. It was probably, I don't know. I want to say 6 to 9 months ago. You reached out and you're like, dude, Threads is something.
Yep.
You told me to lean into it. So I started posting there more regularly.
Yes.
I grew that thing. I doubled it since you told me that.
I know. I've been watching you do that actually. Yeah. Well, so, and I guess it's, again, back to how you and I grew up, right? We grew up with kind of the 4-channel universe, the 3+4. Well, it's clear now there's X, Elon's world on the right side of the planet. That's the world kind of water cooler. And then Threads, Zuckerberg's version, whether it's left or right or center-centric, is the other one. So again, if you and I grew up with the New York Times and the Washington Post or Sofa, I'm using metaphors, you kind of got these two big dogs. You got Threads and X, kind of the Coke and the Pepsi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Threads now is closing in fast on X, man. And I'm going to think I've been watching. I got to think you've noticed it even yourself. I don't know how much time you spend there, but there's certainly much more activity on that platform than there ever has been. So, and I'll tell you right now, the same thing's happening on Sora. I know you're not there yet. I know it's kind of younger skewing, but Sora today is like Instagram day one, Threads day one, Twitter day one. It is going to be massive. Yep. True story.
Yeah, I imagine.
All right, what else we got here, guys? I got a dumb shit award this morning, Johnny, too, man, which is just another ridiculous one. Hey, so here's one for you. Ozempic. So you would know this because the peptides, and I put this on here because I want to talk to you about this one. So Ozempic might be changing more than appetites. It may be changing how your body handles alcohol. Now, GLP-1 drugs, which are, kind of the peptide world we talk about, it helps us absorb alcohol more slowly, causing lower blood alcohol spikes and a milder sense of intoxication. But what they're finding is that cravings and people are wanting to drink alcohol less. John, you've talked about, since you've been in the peptide game, this food noise is gone. And the same thing they're finding with alcohol is that folks aren't chasing alcohol anymore. So it's like, that's what's happening as well. I know you don't drink, but can you relate to these comments?
Yeah. But I think, so there's 3 GLP-1s.
Yes.
There's generation 1, 2, and 3, right? So Ozempic was generation 1. And it was just straight up, okay, let's just I'll just make it real simple to understand. Let's just kind of semi-paralyze your fucking gastric emptying.
Okay.
Everything slows down so much to the point where you just fucking you go to eat and your body says no. Right. So if nothing's coming out of the backside, it's like a dog that can't take a dump. At some point, he stops eating.
Yeah. Yes.
So then there was a generation 2, which would have been tirzepatide.
Okay. Yeah.
That one did the same thing, with a little bit less harsh on the gastric emptying, but then brought in some other elements. And then the third one, which is retatrutide, that's the one I'm a fan of. That's the one that does something to the addictive center of the brain.
Well, so that's exactly what they're talking.
The first 2 generations didn't have that, or they had the second one might have a little bit, but nothing like the third.
So this is what this is what I enjoy talking about with you, because somebody who's not like a metaphorical scientist or not doing studies, you're like, no, this is what I am doing, right? So when I say scientists suggest, you're like, no, not suggest. This is what's happening. So when they say scientists suggest you might have less cravings or hunger, what John Anderson is saying, no, you're actually going to not have any food noise, and you're not actually going to even have hunger. So you're noticing the actual effects. And I know you don't consume alcohol, so this doesn't affect you, but you clearly can see how this has a positive effect on folks that want to stop drinking or want to stop eating less.
Right? I mean, in the testing phases, because they, it just went through in the beginning as, okay, let's plug up. Think about this. We're going to plug up your ass. So at some point you don't want to eat anymore. That was kind of generation 1. It was just a jackhammer, right? But lots of side effects. People were fucking sick. It just didn't feel well.
Maybe that's my mom. Maybe that's my mom. Because my mom, I was telling you I've told you my story, John, about my mom. She was on Ozempic for a while. Then she got quite sick. I don't know if it's because she was overdosing, because of the feeding part. And, Lauren can offer more.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, I guess the best way to put it, it was just from a concept of somebody that needs to lose a bunch of weight, better than fucking having your stomach stapled for sure. But I mean, think about it. Think of from a really archaic standpoint. If your gastric emptying is slowed down so much that you're not taking a dump, at some point you don't want to eat anymore. And that's the extreme case, which is really not, I mean, how does that not make you sick? So if you feel like that, why are you going to want to drink? That would have been the mechanism for generation 1.
I get you.
Right? Because you're sick. You feel sick. If you're nauseous, who wants to drink?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Good morning, everybody. Hanging out with Keith and John. Hey, Johnny, we have somebody in the lab here this morning that's back. Lady Drew with Shake and Drew. Good to see you in here. And one of the things that I know I pride myself, and I know you do, John, pride yourself, is good conversation. And conversation with humor, conversation that might be edgy, and conversation that might sometimes rub people the right or wrong way. And sometimes people might not like some of the things that are said.
That's called honest conversation.
So some might consider the way that we're speaking about Sterling and Preston and puppies and catchers bullying, and I would offer a different point of view, and I want to I'd like to invite Drew, if you want to give us a call here and have a conversation with us about this. I welcome you, because I appreciate you and I respect you, and I know Anderson does as well. But Drew was offended by maybe some of the things that we've been joking and having some humor with, John. And I know that even
when it's followed up by me saying, "Hey, this is not, I have no issues with homosexuality." I almost followed up every time, just so everybody's very clear.
And I want to bring it up, Anderson, because I pride myself, and I know you do. I've known you well enough that you are all about grace and honesty and not offending anybody. And I also know you well enough, like I know you know me, that we want to have a conversation. If you don't agree with Keith or John, we want to talk about it. I don't want you to run out or leave the lab. Let's talk about it, so that, and we may not even arrive at the same space, but I don't like the world, and I know I can speak for Anderson right now with what I'm going to say next. I don't like the world that we live in right now, that if you don't like something I've said or something you've said, that we all just run away and go back into our own closets or back to our own tunnels and have this tunnel vision. I think it's part of the problem with the world, is that we don't want to talk about things. So, Drew, I'm glad that you're here. If you were offended by some of the things that we were saying, no offense, not trying to come at it from bullying, would welcome the conversation. And I think that, my ambition, I know John's ambition, is just to push the edge here a little bit and have some fun. And
something tells me first off, if Drew, if you were offended, I had zero intention. My apologies, sincere apologies. But something tells me I don't think that she left for that. I think she left for something. People have their lives. She probably left for something else, and the assumption was that there was an offense.
I got some notes, and here's what I love.
You did.
Yeah, here's what I love, and that's why I'm addressing here live on this. So I didn't text you, so I wanted to address it live on the show because I know that's what we are about. We're about an honest, safe space, and not here to offend anybody at all. And if there's an offense, I want to talk about the offense. So Drew, thank you for coming back. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being here. And you are welcome to voice your opinion. You're welcome to voice your discourse. And if you're struggling with some of the shit that Anderson or Billis says along the way, we are going to do our best not to offend, but simply want to have a conversation. That is the ambition, Johnny. It's always the ambition.
Well, I think it's like this is kind of my I have friends.
Yes.
And we call each other fat ass. Yeah. Hey, fat ass, how are you?
I'm the same way. And that's
it's just kind of, but it's almost like so far fetched. It's just like crazy joking, you know, and the whole thing with and keep in mind, my two, I don't know what I should call them now.
Hold on, Johnny. You got hold on. Good morning. Is this Lady Drew? Lady Drew.
It's just like crazy joking, you know. The whole thing with
Hey Drew, if that's you, I need you to listen to. No, that's if it was Drew, it was sorry. So go ahead, Johnny. Sorry about that.
Fuck, I lost. What was I saying? I was.
Hold on a second here again. So
I'm tracking slow today, baby.
Everyone.
Hey Drew,
Yes.
Drew, is this you?
I'm glad we were able to. Yes, it's Lady Drew. I'm glad we were able to get things on the right track again. I am a lover of wild and domestic life.
We're here, Drew. We're here. So I'm glad you called us, Drew. We'd love to hear your point of view, my friend.
Well, quickly, so I won't take up much of y'all's time because I respect everybody. I'm a lover and protector of wild and domestic lives. I have been for the 62 years of my life. The way it came across to me, it was bullying. Melissa even stated that they're not gay. Then it went on for that, and I was like, no, I'm not going to put up with this. I think you guys are fantastic. I love your show. I do everything in the world to promote any good business and good product. But I'm glad we got it straightened out. But, you know, Keith, you're right. Leave a message because y'all do care. And again, I'm glad we got it all corrected. And anyone can reach out to me too. You know, I'm on LinkedIn.com. You've got my phone number in my profile. So
well, Drew, here,
I'll go forward with positivity and everything.
Awesome. So, Drew, thank you. Like I said, man, we just want to have a conversation. So, this is Keith and John's goal here. Good morning, Zach. Drew, thanks for joining us here on the show this morning. You're joining the morning circus, mornings in a lab with every topic on the table. Not here to offend, just here to have fun. Drew, I appreciate you. I'm going to drop you out now, okay? But John, you know, you said something, and it's funny because Petro said the same thing. Petro's like, I grew up with my friends calling me candy ass to motivate me. Well, so did mine. And I feel like that's where, and I know some would disagree that, well, that's bullying, but I think society has lost the ability to communicate with jest.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is because Lady Drew said, and I don't want to forget this. She said, we got it straightened out. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. What did we straighten out? I want to make sure I'm following and tracking here. Today's the day I need to make sure that I understand what's going on around me.
Well, I think straightened out that we had the conversation about that. We addressed it, right? Because Drew called me, Drew sent me a text and said, I was offended by some of the humor that you guys are putting on the table. And I expressed back to say, nobody's trying to offend. We're just trying to have some fun and nobody's bullying. I hear you. And but nobody's trying to bully. And I invited Drew back to say, let's have a conversation with it. So needless to say, John, by us talking about it right now, I
mean, if that did the job, that's perfect. That's wonderful. I just want to make sure, like, is because the kind of the fun banter, because keep in mind,
Yes.
The boys are flipping it back at me, just like that's what makes it okay. If they were lying down saying, stop saying that, the gig would be over.
Well, and here's the thing too, right? And Drew, I'll say this to you, man, Drew. This is the 2020-25 world we live in. If Keith and John are dropping vanilla, boring shit, Johnny, who's showing up?
But I think everybody needs to understand if for some reason, and their AI characters, if their character had said, you know what, this offends me, don't say that again, it would have been a very different response. My next response would have been different. But they had fun with it like I did, so it was just kind of a fun banter.
Yes.
Kind of like when I call you a little nutty son of a bitch. If you were like, hey, you know what? That kind of brings back a weird feeling in my stomach from when I was a kid. I would have went on to find something else to poke at you with.
Call me Husky. Nah, so, but
you know what I mean? So I just want there to be recognition of the fact that it was a welcome banter. You know, if it was, you know, they're dishing it back at me, which says says we're having fun. If there had been any form of this makes me uncomfortable, I don't like this, that's not either one of our personalities to push past that.
Yes. So nation, there you go. We are going to continue to have crazy circus-like ridiculous conversations with our emotionally evolved.
You know, and I've had some of the best conversations of my life with some of my gay friends.
Well, so here's where I struggle. And so it's unfortunate Marty's not here because Marty would be part of this as well, right? Where, you know, Marty was even joking yesterday about, he was saying that, you know, we know when there's, what did he say? We know when there's white guys out there on the street begging, they're scamming. Marty's comment is because in our community,
I could have got offended about that. Marty, what are you doing? I'm white.
Right. So I'm trying to find a space where we all can maybe recreate some of the places we grew up with, but not be offensive. We're not calling people, we're not trying to be harmful. I guess that's really the goal here. There's no harm.
Yeah, the intention is not bad.
No,
the intention is fun.
Yeah. So if you grew up with Stern, you grew up with some of the stuff, and again, not trying to say we're going back to the 50s. No, I just think that we've gone too much where we can't. Oh, so Marty, you shouldn't be joking about there's white guys begging out there on the street. No, fuck, it's what I'm seeing on the street. I'm talking about it. Right. And I think that's part of it. Right. So, but
I'm actually glad that Mart felt good enough that he could say that, because keep in mind, if I was saying that, I would have a hard time saying there's black guys out there begging, because
exactly
it's a sensitive fucking step.
Yes. You know? Well, that's exactly because somebody could assume, well, John's a racist. He's painting a broad brush because he's saying that everybody begging's a black guy. When Marty's
totally. And on that level, my experience, like I've had a few friends that are black that did have adverse response to me. Just basically, like I had one friend of mine, he was kind of a distant friend. He didn't like the fact that I used the word brother.
Oh, interesting.
Like, holy shit, man. That's because brothers was a term he said that was used in slavery or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
But either way, I get where Drew's coming from. I get where anybody can take any of this stuff and have a misinterpretation, but which leads back to what you said, the intention.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, when I put this show together and when John knocked on my door and said, hey, I'm enjoying this, I dig this, let's work on this project together. He knew and I knew that, we are looking to push the limits, right? And Petra, I appreciate, man, because he's like, hey, I want more fun banter. And I know that we're all here because we're looking to push, right? And sometimes we might push a little bit over, but we're looking to push the limits to what we grew up with. And Lady Drew is nothing but a positive individual on this platform in our community. And Lady Drew, you are welcome here non-stop, constantly to drop the kind of candor. And here's the thing too, John. So I spend a lot of time working in the hospitality industry. Okay, so Keith's going to paint a broad brush here now. I spend a lot of time working in the hospitality industry. Many of my friends in the hospitality industry were gay. Many, frankly, many. If I joked about some of the conversations that we often had as a group on this show, fuck, man, there'd be a lot of people calling me bad names. But yet when we were, and I know you can relate, and because I know when sitting in that room, they were calling out shit that I'm like, you're saying that? They're like, oh yeah, I could say it, because I'm like, well, fuck, I can't say that. So again, I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm trying to say, Anderson.
I mean, one of my Tears is my favorite restaurant. Unfortunately, it's not our favorite restaurant anymore, as they had some financial trouble and they had to kind of cut back on their staff. But one of the reasons why it's not our favorite restaurant anymore is because I don't know what you'd call it. The PR person, the person just walked around and made sure everybody was happy.
Yeah. Yes.
Really fucking cool, dude. And he was gay, but like gay, like $3 bill gay. He would, I mean, we fucking used to love Terry and I loved him.
Yeah.
And when he got let go, that kind of wrecked our experience. So we actually looked forward to the conversation. He would, I mean, normally he would just come by the table. Hey, you guys good? He would come and sit with us.
Yeah.
And we'd have fun conversations. So I think it goes back to, you know, just again, it's the intention.
There's Johnny, we've lost a skill. I think we've lost a skill with humanity to show love with jesting. Why do we have to get caught up on somebody's skin color or somebody's sexuality with some humor and fun? Or like I show humor with you, but like you show love to me by calling me a nutty son of a bitch or a fat little, like, so there's love there. I know you well enough that you're not here to fucking hurt me. You're not here to throw me under the table. You're not here to do any intentional damage to me. You're here. It's a way of showing love. I think that's how we've all been raised in many ways, brother.
Yeah, and I think as well, Drew, just so you understand, if I was trying to bully, it would be pretty damn apparent. I'm having fun, you know, just and again, I want to go back to the fact that if my AI gay brothers had laid down and not had fun with it too, the game would have been over.
Emotionally evolved brothers, as we call it.
Who says that?
Well, that's what Melissa has named them, emotionally evolved, which I love. All right, guys, we're gonna come up to the cannabis compounds. We got a lot of people showing up on the show here today, Johnny. It's funny, brother, because Anderson, I'm gonna peel behind the covers and just have a business conversation with you in front of everybody right now. So as I'm picking titles for the show, there's reasons, obviously. Right, we got our two streams. We got a horizontal stream and I got a vertical stream. A horizontal stream very much leans into our pillar topics, right? Like today, want to start a company, and so there are always pillars that there's a strategic reason. The vertical is always looking for something that's going to cause somebody to stop during the scroll. Well, if you look at the title in today's vertical stream, cannabis compounds, and the stream is hopping right now. There's 50, 60 people on there, right? Like it's hot. You can just see the titles that pull people in. Speaking of cannabis, why did you not take a CBD pill last night to put you to sleep? And I'm being very serious. Or did you?
I fell asleep like a fucking rock.
No, but you got up though, and you said you couldn't go back to sleep. Why didn't you take one then?
Well, number one, if I took anything at fucking midnight, waking up at 3 would have been fucking terrible.
No, yeah. Yes.
But I mean, 3 hours of missed sleep, and keep in mind too, as I also recognize that I have been riding that fucking razor's edge of just getting enough recovery. You know, like yesterday was a day off.
Yes.
I decided today was going to be off of training too, because I know that I needed to recover more. It was even before the bad night's sleep. It's just for where I was. If I was like in a different space where I was like totally recovered and charged, this 3 hours of sleep wouldn't have just bent me over.
Gotcha.
You know, but I'm missing 3 hours of sleep right now is just straight up sodomization.
Yeah. I get you. I get it. Oh, are you talking sodomizing, Johnny? Another word we should bring back the word. Hey, Preston and Sterling, are we talking sodomizing today? No.
And just for the record, sodomizing is not really a gay term.
We are going to talk about things nobody else took. Melissa, it's funny, Johnny. You said that word, and I saw Melissa go, no.
When I was back in the days when I was doing dumb shit, right?
Yeah.
If I was hanging out with a chick long enough where she would bring used to love it to do it to brothers.
Yes,
right? Yes. I'd get to know them a little bit, and usually they would come and party with us. So we'd be having a good time.
Yeah.
And I'd put my arm around him and I'd lean over in his ear and I'd say, how do you feel about knowing that I'm going to sodomize your sister tonight?
Jesus
Christ. Sometimes the look that I would get, the head would just turn and look at me like, what the fuck did this motherfucker just say,
So I had something I'm just going to say. I'm not going to say it. Wasn't there Sodom and Gomorrah? Who's Sodom? Sodom and Gomorrah is from the Bible, no?
I'd say we need Marty for that one.
Yeah, anyways. All right, Nation, you're with Keith and John here on Mornings in the Lab. Hey, before we do a lifestyle tip with Anderson and reset hour 2, Jimmy, let's have a quick little chat about this. Johnny might be curious about this one because I know he's all about testosterone and reducing stress. But I knew nothing about this, but maybe there's a new study, John, that shows Tongkat Ali, what the fuck that is, some kind of herb, that might boost testosterone and reduce stress in men. Jimmy, let's run this clip.
What if the key to unlocking your prime wasn't about adding more, but about rebalancing what's already there? So many of us feel like we're fighting an uphill battle against stress and fatigue, a silent drain on our vitality. But ancient wisdom, now backed by modern science, points to a natural regulator hidden within the body's own systems. It's about flipping a switch that allows your body to shield itself from the pressures of modern life. Reclaim your edge. Start today.
Right, Tongkat Ali, apparently. John, do you know what Tongkat Ali is? You heard about it before? No. So it's a root. It's an herbal root. And apparently a 12-week trial lowered stress hormones and raised available testosterone in men aged 30 through 55.
Well, you figure anytime something gets rid of cortisol,
yes,
that cortisol lowers testosterone. So it's that if it's a mechanism that's going to lower that, it's going to have a positive ripple effect. We're not designed to have, our bodies were designed to have these big blasts of cortisol. Like when we're out way back when it was difficult for us to live to tomorrow.
Yes.
We were out trying to find something to eat and we had to run from a fucking saber-tooth tiger. We got blasted with cortisol to get out of there. Right. But then it was over. We live in this world where we wake up and we start getting the cortisol drip all fucking day. We weren't designed for that.
Hey, Petro, Rufy, Neiman, can I just live the rest of my life living that metaphor through John's eyes of outracing saber-tooth tigers? I love that, fuck, John. You constantly drop, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking.
It puts it in perspective. It's like that's what cortisol was designed for. Like if you had to fight for your life,
yes.
Right? But we weren't designed for this low grade, the slow dealing with it the majority of our waking hours, which our current world does that to us if we're not careful. And because of that, it takes our hormonal system gets so off balance from that. And the negative health ripple effect, including testosterone, sex drive, all sorts of shit, just slowly ripples away from us.
Yes. Thanks, Global. Sodom and Gomorrah, natural disasters are God's wrath. That's what it was. Yeah. But this study, John, 12 weeks, men aged 30 to 55, they did this Tongkat Ali root extract, 300 milligrams a day. Some of the benefits that they noticed was lower cortisol, increased free testosterone.
Now the lower cortisol is the mechanism that's doing all the good shit. So anytime we have a discovery that can help, because it's always going to work better on some people than others. So I love to hear when there's new ways to do it, because sometimes it works better for one person than the next. And anytime we can find ways to help quality of life, I love to hear it.
Yeah. So maybe guys, as you're shopping in your natural herb stores, as you're out traveling around, maybe looking for that Tongkat Ali, Tong Kat Ali, or talk to your doctor. Again, we're not here to diagnose. We're just here to offer ideas, make suggestions, recommendations. But apparently, stacking this with 7-8 hours of sleep, eating not processed foods, there's a good chance it's going to reduce cortisol and reduce stress and help you get into a positive mindset. All right, Jimmy, let's do a lifestyle tip with Anderson.